Welcome along to another video. I am That Cycling Chimp, and in this one my route is going to be a metric half century up the southwest coast of Scotland. I'm doing some more miles for Dodie Aid, and if you want to find out how I got on, feel free to stick around, grab yourself a cuppa, kick back and relax, and let's get the show on the road. Today's adventure is taking me from a hometown in Ayr all the way up to the seaside town of Largs. Now, I've done this route many times before, but I've never done it in the winter time before. I attempted to do this route last week as well, but if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I stacked it halfway through the ride, so I had to abandon it because it was just far too icy. The good thing about this week is it has thawed a little bit, even though it's still cold. And I'm hoping the part that fell off the bike last week is going to be thawed out properly and I can get past it. I'm going to try and hug the west coast as much as I can on this route, and I also want to make it as traffic free as possible. So if you guys want to try this route out, as always, in the description below I'll put the route profile and the link to come out. But anyway, let's try and get some more miles in for Dodie Aid. As you can see, the conditions are overcast today. It's not exactly the greatest for cycling in. It's just miserable. It's actually a little bit foggy as well. I don't know how well the camera will pick that up. As I said, the route I'm planning to do is Prestwick to Troon, Troon to Irvine, Irvine to Stevenson stroke Ardrossan, Ardrossan to Portencross, and then Portencross to Largs. And if you haven't already seen me fall off my bike with ice last week, I'll put that little clip at the end of the video, so you're just going to have to wait to the end to see it. One of the good things today as well is we've got a nice southwesterly wind, which is going to help me a little bit. Once I get to Largs, I plan to utilise the ScotRail service back to Ayr. I did think about doing a Grand Fondo in the 100 kilometres. I haven't done a long one in a long time, and I've only just started training again after the Christmas and New Year period, so I'm still a little bit rusty. All right. It seems that South Beach in Troon is very busy with dog walkers this morning. I'm looking out in the Firth of Clyde there, and I can see there's a boat. Now, I'm led to believe that's a brand new ferry service that's going to be sailing from Troon to Brodick on the Isle of Arran. And that may just play some significance in a couple of months' time, because I do plan to do Arran this year. I'll try zoom in and you can see the new ferry. It's a place I've not been to in a long, long time. And the last time I was on it, I only cycled from Brodick to Lumlash. So I'm hoping when the better weather comes in, I'm going to be able to go over there and get round about the island and do a couple of videos for you guys over there. Oh, and just before I forget, I just want to thank you all for watching the last video and interacting with the comments. I appreciate all the support that I'm getting. And if you really like these videos and you want to see some more of Scotland by bike, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, so you know when my next video is up. I know you guys are really liking these videos with the interactions that I'm getting, and I do truly appreciate all the support that you give me. Now that's me just get past 10 kilometres. I'm just at Brassy Beach, which is just at the opposite side of Troon. And I can confirm there has been a thaw because there's no ice round about at all. There was a bit of ice here yesterday when I was out on the bike. But obviously the salt air has eradicated the majority of it. when I get inland a little bit before I pop out at the opposite side of the kind of estuary just outside of Irvine, I'm hoping there's not going to be anything there ice-wise. Right guys. Well, that's me done roughly about 22 kilometres, and I'm now just at the Irvine Beach Park. Behind me there is the Scottish Maritime Museum. It's a place I've never been to before. I think there's another part at the opposite side of Godfrey's Place, but I've stopped just so I can get something quick to eat. Now we're nearly at the halfway mark. I think it's going to be more than 50 kilometres today. We'll just need to wait and see what the total tally is at the end. Got myself another box of those OGT protein kind of blocks. They've actually changed the recipe slightly, and they've not got the branding on it anymore, and they taste a lot better than they did before. They don't have as much of that waxy-like taste, but they do seem to fuel you in the bike pretty well. Something I didn't know was the main museum entrance is actually on the side I was on. I thought it was on the opposite side on the road, so you can actually come in and have a little look. I'm a bit strapped for time, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I'd like to have a little look round about. Now it's not really a thing I'm into, is boats, but it does look like quite an interesting exhibition. It looks as if there's a lot of boats inside. It's definitely a place I'll come back to and have a little look, but I'm unsure what the admission fee is, but I'm pretty sure we'll find that out on the website. Now, as I said, I'm not really into boats, but I do believe I've seen something like this one before. Now that boat's the Spartan, and I'm sure its sister ship is the Vital Spark. And a lot of the viewers in Scotland will probably know what the Vital Spark is. And if you do, leave a little comment below. But aye, there we go. Anyway, I better start moving because we've still got a bit to go and I'm not wanting to lose light. Now last week when I was cycling this way, this is when I started getting into the difficulty with the ice. Now it looks as if there's still ice on the river, but the paths look pretty clear, so I'm hoping we're going to be alright here. But yep, it's definitely a lot better this time. And just at the other side of Irvine Moor, you've got a statue of the poet himself, Robert Burns. Now legend has it that apparently that statue wakes up in the middle of the night, walks down to the river for a drink of water. Don't know if that's true, but what do you think? Okay, we've got to the bit that we fell last week, so is it going to happen again? It is still pretty slick, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it definitely looks okay. Whew, the adventure continues. Ooh, that front bake sounds amazing. Definitely feeling a lot colder at this end of Ayrshire. Just that nip in the air. I'm glad I survived that bit without coming off again. But the test is really going to come because I'm about to hit Dubs Road. Now, I don't know if you've seen some of my videos on this road before. It's completely traffic free well, when I say traffic free, cars can't go on it, but it's a dead end at one end, so they don't. It's usually kind of dog walkers that park their cars at the end. Now it's right next to the railway line, because that's basically what I'm doing, is following the railway line all the way up the west coast. It's the same kind of route that the Stagecoach 585 bus, or the Clyde Coaster, follows from Ayr to Largs as well. Except I don't go on the bypass. But Dubs Road, it's right next to a railway line, and any water just cascades down off the side. And basically, if the temperature drops below 0 degrees, it's about 2 inches thick of ice. So hopefully we'll get to that and it'll be clear. Although I'm seeing some icy patches at the sides of the road. Once I get past that, that'll be us just back onto the coast again. So the salt air should stop the ice. So as I said, you've got the railway line up at the top there, and you come down this little hill, and it looks not bad to be fair. No, it is icy. Well, at least I survived that. I just followed suit and got off the bike and walked. And the solo adventure turned into a group ride with a walking club. They seem to be walking along the Clyde coast as well. They're actually following the Ayrshire coastal path. So I'm hoping that's us getting back onto the coastline now. The salt air will keep this ice away. Let's jump back in the bike and clip in. So what does 35 kilometres get you in the Ayrshire coast? Well, it gets you to outside Saltcoats if you're travelling north from Ayr. This is quite a famous filming location because it's always on the local news when there's bad weather. And the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. There's quite a lot of crosswinds on it. As I said, I can still see the new Irvine ferry out in the water. Obviously they're getting familiarised with it so that they can put it into action soon. And from a selfish point of view, I'm actually glad it's going from Troon. If it was still sailing from Ardrossan, I'm talking about a 40 kilometre cycle, or I would need to take the car and park, which I'd probably do anyway, but it's just a little bit easier for me if it's at Troon. And for local people too. I'm just at the other side of Ardrossan, and this new cycle path that they've built is an absolute godsend. The good thing about it is you really don't need to go on the road at all now between Ardrossan and probably Seamill. I would say that's the only sketchy bit on a road on this route today. I usually go the West Kilbride way, but I'm going to go down to Portencross Castle to let you see. And I say this is a godsend, but they've obviously decided to widen the cycle path at one point, so I'm actually going to need to go on the road. But I think we can get by without, there are cones there, so I'm guessing we can get by without actually going on the road with the cars. But this will be open soon by the looks of things. It looks as if it's just needing tarmacked. It's already been dug out. It's actually not too bad. It's only about maybe 200 feet that you've got to go onto the road, and you're actually not on the road, if that makes sense. But it would have been nice if they actually had it signposted as into what to do and where to go. It's just one of those Greek days, as I said earlier on, that you can't really see much across the water. You can see the outline of Arran, and you can also see some of the Kintyre Peninsula, but yeah, it's not as good as it usually is. I'm really glad I put my wee Gallabere jacket on today as well. Even though it's tropical temperatures of 3 degrees, compared to what it was the last couple of days at like -1, -2, then with the wind chill factor on top of that. Yeah, I'm just happy I've got this on today. It's keeping me nice and toasty. I reckon I've got about another 2 miles, maybe 2 miles to Portencross Castle. That is a hell of a lot of cows. I'm just about to hit Seamill, which has been incorporated into West Kilbride, and this is the only part you need to go on a semi-busy road. But if you keep your wits about you, you'll be fine. That's what I keep telling myself. So that's me made it to Portencross Castle in the west coast of Scotland. Just a couple of kilometres down from Largs, but 47 kilometres away from Ayr. Now the significance of this castle, this is where the old kings used to lay in state before they were taken over to the island of Iona to be buried. I'm led to believe King Robert II was one of those kings, and if you've watched a previous video about Dundonald Castle, you'll know who Robert II is. Let's go and have a little look round about and see what there is. Now that there is a cannon, and legend has it it's from a Spanish armada. Now, the story goes, the Spanish armada was going up and down the Firth of Clyde a long, long time ago, and one of the ships sank, and apparently there's lots of gold out there. Now again, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But one of the cannons did wash up on the shoreline, and that's just a little reminder that there are shipwrecks out there. Now looking across the water there is the little Isle of Cymru, and to your right hand side beyond the pier is the greater Isle of Cymru, or known as Millport. And apparently there's another castle on the little Isle of Cumbrae, but I don't think you can get on that commercially. I think you can only go on it if you've got a little boat of your own and you can sail across. I don't think there's much on the island anyway. This gives me a chance to get fueled up of one of my Sturker bars before we do the last little leg till we get to Largs. It's an absolutely great little stop when you're on the bike. As it's winter time, it's not open just now, but in the summertime it is open to the public. And there's the Friends of Portencross Castle, a committee that's ploughed a lot of money into it. You can actually go up to the top. There's a bit up the top that you can go up and see, and you get quite a good vista up there, especially if it's a really nice day. You can see over to the Isle of Arran and the surrounding isles. Anyway, it's getting a bit chilly with me standing here, so there's two ways I can go here. I can either go, which is the way I'm going to go, is the gravel way, but if you want to try this route out and you don't have a gravel bike, you need to go back the way you came and then kind of turn off at the top of the road and head towards Hunterston Castle. They're at the other side of the cliffs and rocks that we're about to pass. I'm actually going to come out at the opposite side of the nuclear power plant, Hunterston, and then I'm going to cruise up the road to that and then back on to the NCN7. Pop into the village of Fairley, through that. Apparently they've got a new cycling lane there too, so we'll be a little bit safer there and not get another punishment pass like you just seen. And then hopefully I'll make the train in time. So now it's a ride against the clock. 'I'm actually starting to regret my life choices here. I didn't know it was going to be as muddy and it was going to turn into a cyclocross event. But this is the beauty of gravel bikes. They literally can take on anything. I would not trade a gravel bike in for anything now. Whew. Usually in the better months, this path is a lot better and you're not wheel spinning all the time. It's a lot firmer and a lot drier. "100% easier in one of them." Whew. Aye, it's definitely hard going today. 100% it would have been easier with 4 hoofs and 2 wheels. That last is definitely getting easy gigging across that. That was a bit hard going. Well, that's us past 50 kilometres. We're at 53.5, just at the opposite side of Hunterston. More cycle path until we get to Fairley, through it. I reckon about another maybe 10 kilometres. And I've got roughly 20 minutes to catch the train. This is going to be tight. I've literally got 10 minutes to get to this train. I'm going to need to engage full tuck mode. A Wild West heist. That is my train. And I need to get to the station before it pulls back out. listeners. Ooh, that was a bit close. See if we got enough time to get a quick ticket, then we'll get on this train. Well, that's us got to the end of yet another video. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed it. I like doing that kind of Clyde Coast route, more so in the summertime. If you want to try it out, I'll put the link down in the description for Commute. If you really did enjoy it, feel free to hit that subscription button. It's absolutely free and it helps me out in ways you do not understand. Not only that, there's a lot of adventures coming up for 2025 because I have been busy planning. If you want to see other adventures, you can always check out previously on that cycling Chimp, which are archived videos of 2024. Until the next time, guys, bye for now, and remember to pedal smart. And here, you can have a laugh at me falling off my bike.